GM cuts China jobs as it resets in world's biggest car market. More than half of new cars sold in China are now electric or hybrid, and global EV sales up 21% in July as GM cuts China jobs as it resets in world's biggest car market. More than half of new cars sold in China are now electric or hybrid, and global EV sales up 21% in July as China records biggest jump of 2024, as per Row Motion. Jaguar's latest plan is to basically stop selling cars for a year. 2025 GMC Terrain is boxy again and ditches the push-button shifter. MTV Video Music Awards move back a day because of U.S. presidential debate and will air on September 11th. Isaac Hayes' family demands $3 million from Donald Trump for playing Hold On, I'm Coming at campaign events. Pro-Trump Super PAC says it will spend $100 million on ads between now and Labor Day. A 24 circling Anthony Bourdain biopic Tony from Star Thrower Entertainment, with The Holdovers breakout Dominic Sessa in talks to star. Rachel Lillis, Pokémon star who voiced Misty and Jessie, dies at 55. Red Hot Chili Peppers rap Unlimited Love Tour with over 3.4 million tickets sold. Donald Trump is using Jeffrey Epstein's old jet to fly to campaign events. Second photo alleged to show J.D. Vance in drag posted online. Former Colorado clerk Tina Peters, one-time hero to election deniers, convicted in computer breach. Doom. The Dark Ages gameplay reportedly shown at QuakeCon, revealing a revamped glory kill system and a mech with a cannon. Open World Terminator. Survivor's Steam Early Access delayed into 2025. Randy Pitchford teases Borderlands 4 after tirade over flop movie adaptation. Kamala Harris backed by 50% of Brits compared to just 21% for Donald Trump? New poll shows. Voters trust Harris more than Trump on economy, as per a poll. Trump falsely claims a crowd photo from Harris's campaign rally in Detroit was created using AI, and former U.S. Congress Speaker McCarthy tells Trump to stop questioning size of Harris's crowds. Millions of Britons made ill because their home is too hot, study finds, as UK faces heat wave. More than 47,000 people died in Europe last year due to heat, report says. Puerto Rico activates National Guard as Tropical Storm Ernesto approaches. In the UK, HMRC admits it will never recover £19 billion of unpaid tax. In the US, bankruptcies jumped 28% in states with legal online sports betting. In the US FDA, panel rejects MDMA-aided therapy for PTSD. Scientists hail smart insulin that responds to changing blood sugar levels in real time. WHO invites monkeypox vaccine manufacturers to submit dossiers for emergency evaluation. Canada's temporary foreign worker program a breeding ground for modern slavery? UN report concludes, and cheap foreign labor soars in Canada as young workers are left jobless. New Zealand immigration slowing amid record citizen departures. Israel creates plan to bring in more foreign workers in place of Palestinians. It has been reported that the 2024 iPhone 16 will have Apple Intelligence as its biggest selling point, and the 2025 iPhone 17 will have a new ultra-thin mid-range model, the iPhone Air, to revamp the lineup, and the rumored iPhone 17 Slim could instead be called the iPhone 17 Air. Apple's Journal app to receive AI-powered upgrades, latest patent suggests. iOS 18.1 Beta 2 with Apple Intelligence now rolling out to developers. Beijing admits Hong Kong flagship destroyed key Baltic gas pipeline by accident. Chevron starts ultra-deepwater oil field production in U.S. Gulf of Mexico. Oil prices hold gains after OPEC trims demand outlook on China's softness. UAE economy continues robust growth across real estate, tourism, manufacturing reported by OPEC. UN body says Brazil is close to leaving the hunger map and Lula celebrates, working in the right direction. 76% of Hong Kong firms have never hired young people with special needs. Survey finds. Invisible laser beam detects what a MacBook user is typing. Dune scientists observe first neutrinos with prototype detector at Fermilab. China builds with manufactured sand at 80%, easing worry about overmining and environmental cost. 23andMe reaches settlement in data breach class actions lawsuit. $50 million wrongful death lawsuit against Titan submersible operators highlights use of $30 Logitech game controller. In the U.S., federal appeals court finds geofence warrants are categorically unconstitutional. Realme teases 320W supersonic charge ahead of August 14th unveiling. Google's first Pixel 8 devices made in India are ready. Google-backed software developer GitLab explores sales, sources say. China's autonomous vehicle startup, WeRide, seeks U.S. IPO at $5 billion valuation. Tesla stops taking orders for cheapest Cybertruck, offers $100,000 version now. China's Hesai to be removed from U.S. Defense Department blacklist. 4 months ago, LiDAR maker Hesai sues U.S. government, denies alleged link to China's military. American Airlines flight makes emergency landing after passengers spot lice in woman's hair. South Korea deploys sniffer dog to screen for bedbugs after Paris Games. CrowdStrike accepted a Most Epic Fail award at DEF CON hacking conference. Canada Chief Human Rights Commissioner resigns after controversy over Israel activity, and embattled Human Rights Chief resigns, as review concludes he intentionally omitted name information. Pro-fox hunting group says, UK hunters should be protected ethnic minority. Judge rules against RFK Jr. in fight to be on New York's ballot, says he is not a state resident. Red Dead Redemption PC announcement leaks on PSN. Halloween is getting its own Unreal Engine 5 game with John Carpenter intimately involved. Former Xbox studio Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush have been acquired by PUBG's Krafton Inc., saving it from closure. Apple says Patreon must switch to its billing system or risk removal from App Store. Betting marketplace Polymarket and AI search engine Perplexity partner on info sharing deal. TikTok comes for messaging apps with the addition of group chats. US FDA approves nasal spray alternative to EpiPen for allergic reactions. In the UK, gene therapy costing over £1.6 million is approved for NHS patients with inherited blood disorder. Ozempic is changing people's skin, say plastic surgeons. In Malaysia, growing number of youth delaying marriage worrying, says minister. Kenya's starvation cult leader goes on trial for manslaughter over mass deaths. Number of UK adults who vape reaches record level with 32% share. Report finds. Storm Maria lashes Japan with intense rainfall, canceling flights and sending thousands to shelters. Half of Greece on maximum fire alert as swaths of Europe bake. Evacuations ordered near Athens, as Greek authorities try to contain wildfires, and Greek government calls for EU disaster response mechanism over fire. Excessive rain causes flooding chaos across Oklahoma City metro area. IDF, Shin Bet name another 12 Hamas, Islamic Jihad operatives killed in strike at Gaza school, bringing total to 31. 3 days ago, White House deeply concerned after Gaza officials report more than 100 killed in school sheltering thousands. UNSC schedules meeting to discuss Israeli strike on Gazan school for August 13th. Hamas says it won't take part in Gaza hostage ceasefire deal talks. In Israel, anonymous ex-user who threatened hostage families identified as local tycoon. Ukrainian deputy minister detained for massive bribe. In South Africa, Democratic Alliance wants police minister to appear before parliament over 5.4 million missing and closed dockets since 2018. Scientists find oceans of water on Mars. It's just too deep to tap. A geological feature called the Double Arch in southern Utah has collapsed. North central Washington seeing record returns of sockeye salmon. Court rejects U.S. appeal in Jordan Chiles' bronze medal fight. 2 days ago, American gymnast Jordan Chiles lost her bronze medal on floor exercise. Flavor Flav offers Jordan Chiles a bronze clock necklace as medal replacement. Paris Olympics averaged 30.6 million viewers, 82% bump from Tokyo. FTC approves final new horse racing oversight rule. U.S. needs strong president. Donald Trump asserts Putin, Xi, Kim Jong-un are at top of their game in Musk interview. Trump says his biggest fear is nuclear warming, with China to overtake U.S. in capability. IDF says it has no intel to confirm or deny Hamas claims its guards killed wounded Israeli hostages. Hamas armed wing says 1 Israeli hostage killed, 2 women captives seriously wounded. 6 months ago in Israel, sperm from 91 fallen soldiers retrieved, built to allow use awaiting Knesset approval. Reportedly, Belarusian air defenses shot down 13 drones flying from Ukraine on August 9, and Belarus summons Ukraine envoy over alleged drone airspace violations. Ukrainian troops have captured 28 settlements amid Kursk incursion, Russia says. Putin cuts off governor who admitted Ukraine advancing in Russia, and Putin replaces Gerasimov with FSB chief Bortnikov in Kursk operation. Putin says Ukraine's attack on Russia is aimed at ceasefire negotiations. Reportedly, non-ice-class ships may be involved in Northern Sea route traffic, and 2 months ago, first non-ice-class container ship receives Arctic permit. China finishes work on mega oil and gas platform destined for the Gulf. Arctic Ocean may absorb less CO2 than projected due to coastal erosion. Hezbollah chief claims Israel in decline as IDF warns border areas on high alert. U.S. for European nations call on Iran to refrain from attacking Israel. In Brazil, Amorim blocks Israeli armored vehicles and defense proposes production in RS. Researchers uncover vulnerabilities in SolarMan and DAI solar systems. FreeBSD releases urgent patch for high-severity OpenSSH vulnerability. Eastwind attack deploys PlugY and GruApache backdoors using booby-trapped LNK files. U.S. to convene Sudan ceasefire talks, even without Khartoum. 2 days ago, Sudan says consultations with U.S. conclude without agreement. Putin to hold talks with Palestinian president in Moscow. China, Indonesia hold first 2+2 senior officials meeting amid South China Sea tensions. Air taxis failed to get certified for the Paris Olympics. There's still hope for Los Angeles 2028. Indians wanting their money back for undelivered Teslas shows how drastically the EV market changed. SpaceX to launch 4 people on historic Fram 2 mission over Earth's poles in late 2024. Elon Musk claims massive DDoS attack targeting ex-Trump conversation. Elon Musk offers Donald Trump cooperation in possible government. Google says it is deactivating Russia-based AdSense accounts. German state-owned development bank, KfW prepares for tokenized bond issuance with Börse Stuttgart Digital in ECB trial. Binance will start converting Monero to USDC on September 2nd as part of delisting. Mark Cuban says to get rich, invest 10% of savings in high-risk investments, but if it's Bitcoin, throw a Hail Mary and pretend it's gone. Celsius sues Tether over $3.3 billion Bitcoin claim, and Celsius targets Tether, Badger DAO, Compound, and Netanyahu's niece and nephew in lawsuits. 9 months ago, crypto lender Celsius Network cleared to exit bankruptcy, and 17 months ago it had been reported as Celsius seeks $2 billion withdrawn before bankruptcy. 9 months ago, bankruptcy court confirms that retail borrowers' crypto belongs to Celsius. SEC files fraud charges against promoters of Novatech, alleged $650 million crypto pyramid scheme. Former Bank of Japan board member rules out another rate hike this year. Director of the Central Bank of Brazil insists on possible rate hikes. Fitch downgrades Israel to outlook negative. Hackers leak 2.7 billion data records with U.S. Social Security numbers. Suspected Iranian hackers breached Roger Stone's personal email as part of effort to target Trump campaign. Sources say, an FBI is investigating suspected Iranian hack attempts against Trump and Biden campaigns. A Belarusian and Ukrainian leader of international malvertising and ransomware schemes of Angler exploit kit, other malware, and online scams extradited from Poland to face cybercrime charges. Japan issues first megaquake warning for Nankai Trough after strong trembler, and magnitude 5.3 earthquake hits Tokyo after Japan issued megaquake advisory. Also, Japan's PM cancels overseas trip after experts issue megaquake warning. Waves as high as 80 centimeters registered in Japan in wake of earthquake. In the U.S., former finance minister of Mozambique convicted of $2 billion fraud and money laundering scheme. NYC's Ice Cream Museum is sued by a man who says he broke his ankle jumping into the sprinkle pool. In the U.S., former Syrian prison official charged with immigration fraud, about his time running a Syrian prison where prisoners, including political dissidents, were physically mistreated. DNA on weapons implicates former U.S. Green Beret in attempted Venezuelan coup, federal officials say. U.S. federal judge again dismisses Mexico's lawsuit against most gun manufacturers. In Australia, Cadbury doubles the price of Freddo frogs and Caramello koalas, with chocolate giant citing record cocoa costs for increase. Mention of heat waves at all-time high in India's earnings calls. Pakistan sees solar boom as Chinese imports surge, BNEF says. Microsoft researchers report Iran hackers targeting U.S. officials before election. Kaspersky Lab registers twofold growth of infected smart devices in Russia. It's not worth paying to be removed from people finder sites, study says. ByteDance is set to seek refinancing of $5 billion loan. Temu owner Colin Huang is now China's richest person. Apple says, there's no price Microsoft could pay to make it ditch Google. They offered to give us Bing for free. Crypto leaders demand Gary Gensler's removal in White House meeting. Donald Trump Jr. is launching a crypto platform to take on the banks. Japan's top finance regulator hesitant on crypto ETF approvals. Kate Blanchett says, no one got paid anything for Lord of the Rings. I basically got free sandwiches and I got to keep my ears. Channing Tatum hopes Deadpool and Wolverine Gambit cameo leads to standalone movie. I pray to God. Jenna Ortega says everybody in Hollywood wants to be politically correct, but that lacks honesty and makes us lose a lot of our humanity and integrity. Man who served under Walz says governor retired before unit had deployment news, as Tim Walz's military record under scrutiny as he joins Kamala Harris on Democratic ticket. Harris-Walz camouflage Midwest princess hat reaches nearly $1 million in sales a day after release. Trump and Harris to debate on ABC. Trump says he wants 2 more. In the UK, migrant numbers fall sharply after curbs on family visas. Swedish emigrants to outnumber immigrants for first time in 50 years. As per government. Poland to pay monthly benefit to people aged over 100. Elon Musk deletes post spreading fake news about UK detainment camps. And UK PM Keir Starmer confirms Online Safety Act to be reviewed after far-right riots. ISIS-inspired suspect plans suicide attack at Taylor Swift concert. Austrian authorities say. Bulgarian parliament bans LGBTQ+ propaganda in schools. Apple announces new fee structure for apps in the EU that link out to the web for purchases, and Spotify and Epic Games call Apple's revised DMA compliance plan confusing, illegal, and unacceptable. Amazon enlists TikTok, Pinterest in quest to sell everywhere. Tether to double staff by mid-2025 in compliance finance push. Chinese competitor to Nvidia charged with financial fraud, loses spot on Shenzhen Stock Exchange. HP to move production of millions of PCs to Thailand, Mexico. TSMC sales grow 45% in July on strong AI chip demand. Paramount Global announces it will cut 15% of U.S. workforce, shares rise on second quarter earnings, and Paramount takes $5.98 billion write-down on cable networks in Q2 tied to Skydance deal, while streaming turns first profit. Warner Bros. Discovery earnings reports reveals Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League caused a 41% loss in video game revenue, and WB Discovery wants to license franchises, which include Batman to Harry Potter and more, to other game studios. Wall Street sees end of Fed's quantitative tightening this year. JP Morgan raises odds of U.S. recession by year-end to 35%. Warren Buffett now owns more T-bills than the Federal Reserve. Spain investigates man who poured water on ancient cave paintings for a better photo. Drone imagery shows 97% of corals dead in northern Great Barrier Reef. Researchers calculate up to 1 billion birds may die in the U.S. each year due to collisions with windows. Lauryn Hill says U.S. tour was called off due to low ticket sales, which she attributes to media sensationalizing of her cancelled shows last year. Kesha plans to re-record TikTok with FCK Diddy lyric change. Billie Eilish, Snoop Dogg and Red Hot Chili Peppers to perform at Summer Olympics closing ceremony. Asked about bear carcass prank, RFK Jr. says he once had a freezer full of roadkill meat. Catalonia former leader Puigdemont returns to Spain despite arrest warrant, and Catalan separatist Puigdemont heads for Belgium after dodging arrest in Spain, party says. Brazil and Nicaragua cut ties over Ortega's persecution of clergy, as Brazil, Nicaragua expel each other's ambassadors. A new report finds Boeing's rockets are built with an unqualified workforce, and NASA says Boeing Starliner astronauts may fly home on SpaceX in 2025. Cybersecurity firm Trend Micro explores sale, sources say. Petrobras reports 2.6 billion Brazilian reals loss in Q2. Company will pay 13.57 billion Brazilian reals in dividends. ASUS and MSI BIOS updates for Intel 13th and 14th generation unstable crashing CPUs now rolling out, and Intel faces shareholder class action lawsuit for allegedly concealing foundry business problems. WD announces enterprise 128 TB SSD, 8 TB SD cards, and a 16 terabytes external SSD at FMS 2024. Samsung is recalling 1 million stoves to prevent pets from setting your home on fire. Roblox banned from Turkey for causing abuse of children, following an Instagram blackout. A TikTok ban may be next. Venezuela's Maduro blocks X access in country for 10 days. YouTube no longer opens in Russian desktop browsers. Trump says abortion's not big factor in elections anymore. Evangelical leaders call out danger as prophets tie God to Donald Trump. Arizona grand jurors discussed indicting Trump, but prosecutors urged them not to. Reportedly, Tim Walz's net worth is less than the average American's. Joe Rogan says he supports RFK Jr. over Trump, Harris. Trump took a private flight with Project 2025 leader in 2022. Mexico rejects Ukraine's request to arrest Russia's Putin during visit. UN official says 95% of Ukrainian soldiers in Russian captivity face torture. Former intelligence agent Ritter says, FBI searched his home because of ties to RT Sputnik. 1 year ago it had been reported as, Russia uses former UN weapons inspectors' Ukraine misinformation for domestic propaganda. In Germany, Bundestag sees no issue with Ukraine using Leopards on Russian territory. Natural enemies China and Russia brought together by U.S. Democratic leaders, says Donald Trump. Putin signs law allowing foreign banks to open branches in Russia. 11 years ago, Putin signs law banning opening of foreign bank branches in Russian Federation. European Commission announces hot-rolled coil anti-dumping investigation into Egypt, India, Japan and Vietnam. U.S. tops China as Germany's biggest trading partner. Japan's automakers lose market share in China and Thailand as EVs spread. Ted Lasso co-creator is waiting on Jason Sudeikis to make a decision about Season 4. Full episodes of Arcane Season 2 appear online ahead of November release, following Netflix anime leaks. China firm pays actor $400,000 for live stream, demands refund after dismal product sales. Russia legalizes crypto mining and brings an experimental regime. U.S. policy group proposes Bitcoin tax-free zone for digital economy growth. Brazil grants approval to world's first spot Solana ETF. Animoca and Lamborghini collaborate for Web3 automotive experience. FTX, Alameda ordered to pay $12.7 billion to creditors by U.S. judge. Google to implement web monetization in Chrome for micropayments for content. In India, 5 children injured in Bihar while trying to make bomb using YouTube tutorial. Russian chess player accused of trying to poison opponent by smearing pieces with mercury. Iran executes 36 convicts in 24 hours. The Global Alliance for Responsible Media is discontinuing after Elon Musk's ex filed an antitrust lawsuit against it, as advertisers axe corporate responsibility scheme after lawsuit from Musk's ex. 3 days ago, Musk's ex sues Unilever, Mars and CVS over massive advertiser boycott. Montreal man wants to sue social media platforms for being too addictive. Meta and Google secretly targeted minors on YouTube with Instagram ads. COVID fell to 10th leading cause of death in the U.S. last year, down from 4th. Hong Kong to stop offering Sinovac COVID vaccine when current stocks expire in October. First imported cases of Zika-like virus detected in Europe. Israel detains soldiers on allegations of sexual assault of a detainee from Gaza. Turkey formally asks to join the genocide case against Israel at the UN court. Norway warns Israel of harming diplomatic ties with Oslo. And EU say Israel revoking Norwegian diplomat's status unwarranted, not helpful. Recently, Israel cancels accreditation of Norwegian diplomats to Palestinian areas. Alaska glacier outburst floods Juneau, damages more than 100 homes. 10 years of research shows chlamydia vaccine can save lives of wild koalas. Israel PM's office announced Israel will attend August 15 talks to finalize the details for implementing deal. Qatar, Egypt, U.S. invite Israel and Hamas to resume Gaza ceasefire talks. Hostage and ceasefire deal talks stall over new Netanyahu demands, Israeli officials say, as Netanyahu to reject deal releasing all hostages if it doesn't end Hamas control of Gaza. Japan holds ceremony on 79th anniversary of Nagasaki bombing, and G7 ambassadors to miss Nagasaki atomic bomb memorial over Israel's exclusion. Saudi Arabia says Hamas leaders' killing was blatant violation of Iran's sovereignty. U.S. bans imports from 5 more Chinese companies over Uyghur forced labor allegations. FBI and CISA warn of black suit ransomware that demands up to $500 million. Windows Update downgrade attack. Unpatches fully updated systems. Hackers could spy on cell phone users by abusing 5G baseband flaws, researchers say. Chinese crime ring accused of stealing thousands of corpses to use bones for dental grafts. Anti-doping agencies WADA, USADA clash over use of undercover athletes to catch cheats. Hong Kong police deploy drones, night patrols, Marine officers in 4 days anti-burglary bid. South Korea could take years to rebuild spy networks after leak exposes undercover agents. 10 days ago, South Korea arrests official over alleged data leak exposing spies, as claimed in reports. Previously, South Korea reports leak from its military intelligence command. Canadian North Korea expert UN official detained in Switzerland on espionage charges. Ukraine to unleash robot dogs on its front lines for detecting mines spying. In Battle of Kursk 2.0, German armored vehicles are rolling into Kursk again after more than 80 years. Ukraine stuns Russia. In Germany, AfD and BSW heat things up in the east. Anti-Ukraine sentiment is growing. ChatGPT now lets free users generate up to 2 images per day made by DALL-E 3. OpenAI warns users could become emotionally hooked on its voice mode. Elon Musk to pause X's AI training on some EU data, Ireland says. Perplexity's popularity surges as AI search startup takes on Google. AI coaching replacing human instructors at high-tech Chinese driving school.